What's going on, everybody? It is what day is it? It's Thursday. It's a Thursday edition of the Ysn Power Hour here on your sports network, and proudly brought to you by our friends at Toyota of Warren. DJ Yoakley here, showing up a little late for class. I apologize for that. Trying to hash out some things. We had an interview lined up with Mitch Davidson of Youngstown State, who is going to be having a camp coming up next week. And unfortunately, a little under the weather is Mitch Davidson. So we wish him well. We hope that he's able to bounce back, and hopefully we'll get him on Monday. He could talk about his camp and a little bit about his journey that he's had. So thanks to I apologize for anybody that was tuning in to see QB1 here of the Youngstown State Penguins for this fall, but I'd rather he just stay in bed or lay low or whatever it is that a quarterback does when they're sick, because I know how busy I am even when I am sick, and I'm sure he's in that same boat. So unfortunately, no Mitch Davidson today, but we will certainly try to get him back on the show in the short term. And I do apologize once again. I know I'm running probably 12, 13 minutes late on this because trying to get another booking, somebody else to get on this show. We do have a special guest that'll be joining us in about 15 minutes or so. Let's preface this, and there's a lot of people that are going to be really surprised when I say the following statement, because a lot of times we get asked at YSN, no matter if you're first year or you've been here for all 6 years, what's your favorite sport to announce? And for me, it is so challenging to answer that question on a daily basis, because in basketball season, I'm up for basketball, baseball, and softball. I'm up for the diamond sports. Football season's obviously very exciting. Volleyball, to me, is one of the best sports to announce. Point blank, end of story. But I will tell you this. As much as I love announcing high school sports, like my heart and soul, right? Those moments that I get to announce 8U, 10U, 12U, 14U, whatever it may be, right? Those moments before high school, to me, those are some of the best moments that you can incur as an announcer at YSN. And there's a lot of people that steer way clear of it, right? They're not touching it with a 10-foot pole. I'm not announcing, this is beneath me, or this is whatever their excuse is. I will tell you, and I will argue for this, and I will win like never before. Doing those games, doing these 8U, 10U, 12U games, like we're going to have tonight, the Battle of the Range, baby, tonight on YSN. Get stoked. I'm ready to go. Clock is ticking. I can't get out of here fast enough, folks. But I will tell you this. These games that you do are so pivotal, so exciting, so cool to do, because that is the future of what we do, our core mission here at YSN, of these high schoolers. So when some people look at it and they go, hey, that's just an 8U game, what are you going to get out of that? Some people get bored to tears. I will tell you this. We get ridiculous, and I would even say redonkulous stats for these games, because grandma's watching, aunts and uncles are watching, pop's watching, everybody's watching, because how often do these young ones get to be on YSN, get to be anywhere where somebody's saying their name with excitement, with encouragement, with just gusto, right? And I am so honored and humbled and excited to do these games tonight. 8U, 10U, South Range. And listen, I said, hey, we need help getting sponsors for these games. Boom, done. The great people that said, this is worth any amount of money to do this. And we ended up with 10 sponsors. Incredible. And I'm so excited because that could be the entry to seeing what YSN is all about and understanding what YSN is all about, which is the kids. It is the now, the present. It is the past, 6 years. But it is certainly the future. And the future starts tonight, folks. The future starts tonight. You look at what this could be. Imagine, if you will, an 8U and 10U. So they are approximately 4 to 6 years away ish from being on the varsity team at some level, wherever they may be, whether it's South Range or otherwise, right? Because right now it's South Range. One of the coolest things that is going to happen over the next 2 years is going to be those moments that we followed Little League Baseball and all these Little League and the YYFFA and NEO Flag and all these other ones that are on the wall. These kids are now high schoolers. Some of them have already moved on into being college athletes. We have them when they were practically babies. You can go back and watch the first time that, let's think about it, Gabe Hamilton, right? The first time that Gabe Hamilton was on YSN. You'll be able to go back when he was 11 years old. And the young man, I believe, is now a freshman or close to it. And that Boardman team that won state, you can go back and see all the names that were and showcase all the names that are right now playing for the Spartans, right? For years to come. Colin Resitar. You look at all of that. These guys are on YSN constantly now, but at that moment, it was the biggest deal in the world. Tonight, for these young ladies, for their parents, for their loved ones, the people that follow them, this is the biggest deal for them. And I promise you, and I mean I promise you, that we're going to put on a show for them. We're going to make it exciting. We're going to make it fun. We're grateful for the opportunity. You know, talking to one of the guys that really lined this up, and I'm going to give a shout out to him because and I know he doesn't want it. Chad Bailey, I know you're out there. I know you're watching. Thank you for the opportunity to get involved with this. You know, people don't understand. They think that it's just like streaming, right? That's all it is. But we can turn on the camera and just let it fly, and you can draw up your own conclusions. But the cool thing that I think we bring to the table, and this isn't a promo for YSN, this is just the way that it's panned out has been really exciting for me as someone that had the vision, right? And thought about it. Can we do it? And then we did it. And we're doing it. And we're going to continue to do it. And we're going to get better and better and better. To be able to include youth sports in a world that there's so many rules. No, we don't want youth sports because you don't know what kind of people are out there watching. Listen, if you're scared, get a dog. I've said that before. I would never put anybody in harm's way, but I am like incredibly excited for myself and my family because I have a young one that pretty soon will be on YSN. And to experience that as a parent for the first time, I'm really excited. I'm genuinely excited. I've done over 2,000 games since we started this bad boy, but I've never called my own kids' game. That gets me pumped up. I've never watched my own kid play on YSN. And I think that's the mentality that I have now as I kind of change gears or switch hats, if you will. Now I get it, folks. Now I understand it. I was doing this as purely an announcer, purely as a business owner, purely as someone who absolutely loves sports and just wanted to do this for the rest of my life. And now Now I get it. I understand it. Because I know the first time that my kid is on YSN, there's going to be an excitement for them. It's going to be an exciting time for myself, my wife, my family, because I have family that's all over the country, right? My mom's in Florida. Her side of the family is in New York and Virginia. Then you have my dad's side of the family, which, my uncle's in California, my aunt's in Akron. We got another aunt in New Waterford that's close enough, but they've got busy lives. YSN's the reason. Hey, watch tonight. And they will. And I know that it's going to be done very well. And there's going to be an excitement because 90% of the time, the guys that are doing these young kids games, these youth games, are guys that I can count on, have been there, have been battle tested, and understand that the most important thing for these young ones is to keep them encouraged and keep them going. We're not going to sit there and blast them for striking out. We're not going to sit there and blast them if they walk 10 batters in a row. What does that do for the future of the sport? What does that do for that parent? It's frustrating enough to go through that at that age. They're not being paid. They're not close to that. There's no NIL deals for 8U or 10U. They're doing it because they love the game. They want to be with their friends. They want to have some ice cream after the game. If they win, sprinkles if they win, especially. That's the difference. And hopefully at some point, someday, when they're a senior in high school, they invite you to their graduation party and they say, hey, you were a small part of me getting to where I'm going because you believed in me or you said something nice about me. That is the difference. You can go stream these games anywhere. With one of these things, anything's possible. The most powerful device in the entire world is in our pocket. But I'm an advocate for, listen, you can make or break somebody by the way you make them feel. And tonight, what I can promise you is that I don't have my roster with me. Let's say there's 30 girls that are going out and playing baseball or softball tonight. Excuse me. My mission, my goal, I don't care who wins the game. I care that they all feel good leaving that field knowing that they just had an experience on my network and they can't wait for the next one. That's the goal. The goal wasn't making a ton of money. The goal wasn't, just going and getting these girls on TV. The goal is for these girls to have an experience that they can look back on and they can say, wow, that was really cool. I can't wait. I want to keep with softball. I can't wait to be a Raider. I can't wait to be Anna A. I can't wait to be Julie Stakowitz. I can't wait to be Jamie Farron. I can't wait. Name it, Sydney Watts. I mean, you can go in your community and you can pick out any single player. My goal is to make sure that we put those players on a pedestal, but even more so, we give the younger generation an opportunity to do the same thing because I remember going in my backyard. All I wanted to do, there's a guy out there. I'm shouting out to him right now, Andy Pink, who was a center in basketball. I had no chance of ever growing to be even 6 foot tall, let alone whatever he was at 6'5" or whatever. But the reality of the situation was there's an opportunity that everybody's watching. You can be a role model in high school and kids will look up to you. My whole goal, and I'm hoping, because some of these, especially in South Range, there's a trip to Greece that a lot of these players and a lot of these families are on. My goal and my hope is that they're tuning in tonight and watching the future of the programs. And I'm really, really excited for it. I'm really excited to make sure that every kid has a positive experience tonight. That is goal number one. And I'm going to check that box many, many times. And to meet the younger generation and to meet these young ladies and shake their hand and say, I'm excited for you. I can't wait to watch you play. Go do your best. That's what's cool about it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, our unbelievable guest, who I'm very excited for many different reasons to bring on, we'll unveil that in just a moment after this short break. But again, thanks to our main sponsor, Toyota of Warren, who has promptly been able to support us here at the Ysn Power Hour for the last, 6 months or so. Can't thank them enough. If you have a chance, if you're looking for a new vehicle, make sure you go see Tino and his crew over there at Toyota of Warren. They'll take care of you quick, fast, in a hurry, and they'll make you feel good doing it. So we'll take a break. We come back. Very special guest. I'm not going to tell you. You're not going to spoil this for me. Back after this.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
You're looking to your future, preparing for your goals, and they're closer than you think. Because here, success is part of the plan. It's a place where academic and social opportunities are meant to prepare you for life, not just the next 4 years. You'll be equipped to face new challenges and turn hard work into a career. You're ready for your success to take root. And here's where it starts. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ysn Power Hour, brought to you by our friends at Toyota of Warren. DJ Yoakley with you, and we're going to bring in a special guest. I think so. I can't see her. We're going to see if we can bring her in. Maybe her
I'm not sure if my video just might not be working. It says it's on, but it's not. So
that's okay. I'm put you away so that way it's not just a black screen for you. But can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Brandy Angus, the president of the South Range Baseball Association, joins us, taking time out of her busy schedule, and a lady that I'm really looking forward to getting to know, because she's doing so. You and your family, let's put it that way, are doing so much for the South Range Baseball Association. And tonight, one of the main reasons you're on here is to talk about the battle of the range tonight. Between the 8Us and the 10Us, something that these young ladies are very, very excited about, and the opportunity is there to kind of make a dent and to showcase what South Range baseball is all about, and softball, I guess, for that matter.
Of course,
Brandy, why is it so important that, to keep kind of those kids in your community naturally and have them play against each other in kind of like the old school way that we still get excited about? Not even just a backyard rivalry, but playing the same kids that you see in your classroom.
I think that they get so much out of playing each other. It's just such a fun game. I know some communities shy away from wanting to have their teams play each other, but I think if you're doing it the right way and you have coaches like we do, and they're playing with good sportsmanship and fun, to get to play your own teammates, it's just a blast. Those are your friends that you see. You play with them on same teams in other sports. it just makes it that much better to get to play against them.
I think one of the coolest things, Brandy, and I've been a huge advocate for what you've been able to do. And just from the first time we exchanged emails, my son was able to play T-ball this year, and he had the time of his life. And mostly
I'm so glad
because
to hear that.
everybody and people know how I feel about South Range in the first place, but it's a special place. And because you take, I don't know if precaution's the right word, but you put people in positions that they can help really bring people together and educate these kids that some of them have never played ball before, not criticize them from a standpoint of pushing them away and making them feel uncomfortable, and communicating to them. And I think that is a big part of why you've been able to build a successful program in South Range, and it's been able to move up the ranks, and it continues to do so. What are some of the biggest things for you that you've noticed and said, hey, we need to make sure we do this because the kids need it?
One thing for sure, we want to make sure our program is always open to everybody, no matter what their level, no matter what their interests, no matter why they're playing, whether it's to be super competitive or to get out and just play with their friends or even to make new friends. We want to make sure that we're doing what we can to make all those kids feel like they have a home to come play in. That's number one. Number two is the competitive side. Kids have to learn the skills. The more they learn the skills, the more fun the game becomes. So we make sure we always offer throughout the winter. We have an off-season development program we offer from 8U on up through 12U to get those kids in and get some extra work on their just basic fundamental skills so they can put those into practice when they go out with their teams.
You talk to these high school coaches all the time, and you talk about why their teams are so good, why they are able to make that transition, that jump from, youth ball to high school ball. And they always point to having a good foundation. You are in charge of that foundation. So there's a lot of coaches that need to be high-fiving you and your staff. Why is it so important to you to make sure that the kids learn not only the right way to do things, the safe way to do things, but the fun way to do things?
That's the only way they're going to stay in it. They have to love what they're doing. They have to love the sport. They have to show up and have fun and have good coaches who encourage them and find things like this game coming up that makes it exciting for them. And they have to, know how to play the game, know how to respect the game. And if they don't, it becomes frustrating. So as long as they have those things, the longer they'll stay in it and the more they'll want to work on their own to get better and hopefully get up and to play into high school.
We have the president. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yep, you're done. I'm done.
We have the president of the South Range Baseball Association with us, Brandy Angus, joining us. And Brandy, today it's so challenging to get people to sign up and volunteer to be coaches. I know for a fact because I saw your email. I typically don't use my personal email a whole lot, but when I saw the email like 2 months after the deadline, I saw that there were 84 T-ballers signed up. And you were reaching out for more coaches, and that's something that is troublesome in some communities because you're almost overloading the teams because there aren't volunteers, because everybody wants to criticize, but nobody wants to volunteer anymore. How challenging has it been for you to navigate those waters between getting volunteers and getting umpires? Because as at the high school level, we're dealing with umpire shortages across the board here in Ohio.
Yeah, that's all the way down through the youth leagues. Everybody's dealing with that part of it. Obviously, we don't operate without volunteers, and those volunteers, 99.5% of the time, are the parents within our community. That most things goes to them because without them, we don't operate. And we've been very lucky. Even when I have to send out those emails, that's pretty typical, begging and pleading that if we don't get some more parents in here, these teams are going to be huge and that doesn't make it fun for the kids. But as you can see, everybody stepped up. It didn't take long for us to fill those 12 spots, which as far as I know, in at least the 11, 12 years I've been involved is a record number for us for T-ball, which is great to see because I hope they just, keep growing and stay within the program. And, as they get older, we see even more kids come in.
That's got to be encouraging for you to see that number. I mean, scary, but encouraging all the same. to be able to see that and say, hey, listen, we have something going here. There's a lot of people that want to come here and learn from us because of the success, whether it be in the SRBA or whether it be, the girls going to state,
Yeah.
championship level softball or the boys going to state championship level baseball. That's got to be encouraging for you. What do you see as the most encouraging note of seeing 84 T-ballers come out for T-ball for 6 games?
I was floored this year. I mean, last year I thought we had a lot. I think we had 8 teams last year, and that for me was a high number. To see that many kids come out and want to play. For one, I think the success of our high school program has something to do with that. Parents in the community with young kids who maybe aren't in school yet, you see our teams in the news, you see how well they're doing. You figure maybe that's something I want to get my kids into, that maybe they can be successful when they get older. It has a lot to do with it. I'm blown away this year by the number of T-ball kids that have signed up. Yeah.
And for those who don't know, you and your family are usually the ones out there on the ball fields, making sure that they are pristine, the 2 fields that you have available to you. And thank you, first and foremost, from a parent and from a person that loves sports, because some people just think that those ball fields take care of themselves.
Magically, yeah.
Yeah, that you show up and all the lines are taken care of and all that stuff. So what's I mean, you said you've been doing this for 11, 12 years-ish? What's the biggest challenge that you didn't really expect, but you've been able to overcome?
That I don't know. I don't know that there are. The biggest challenge is getting people involved. I would love to see more people at our monthly meetings when we get those in the off season to figure out ways they can help, because there's so many ideas that I have and things that we can do for these kids to make it even better. But I can't do that all on my own. I can't do that with just me and the few family members that do help out, or the few board members. We do have some more people coming in this year that made a huge difference. But I would like to see more parents want to get involved. It's super easy stuff. Little bit goes a long way. That would be the biggest challenge. I'm not a very social person. I don't talk to people a lot. I just like to go out and do what I do. I love the kids. I love baseball and softball, so I just get out there and do it. But if we can get more parents to jump in and go, I'm here, I got, an hour here, half hour here, or I can make a little bit of work for you. That would be fantastic. That above all is the biggest challenge, is getting parents to jump in and get involved.
My wife, I know without a doubt, she's watching right now, and she's waiting for me to just volunteer our time because she knows how this goes. No, I'm willing to help. I love what you're doing. I think that the experience was second to none. Second to none. It was incredible. The coaches were all great. It was about the kids. It was about, making sure that they learned the game, and they all had fun. Even the snacks. I'm like, what is this? I've never seen
that's a huge part of the game. That's we do it for my 15U team still too. And they love it. So.
Oh, that's the best. 15U snacks. Those are probably the real deal.
All the good ones. Yeah, they get the good ones.
Tonight, let's get back to this game tonight. I mean, this is going to be seen by a lot of people. And when Chad brought this up to me, I just said, yes, we're in.
Which I'm so grateful for.
I
really am.
Are you excited for? I mean, is it something that you think should be showcased more? Is these young 8, 10, 12U games that you can kind of see yourself and grandma, grandpa, aunts and uncles and family? Should this be done more by people like us to help out the youth and to keep the game growing?
I think there's definitely a value in it for sure. I mean, not only do you have, where people can't make the games or, want to be able to watch it. Like my son is currently going to play tonight in their 10U championship game. So I can't be at the softball games, and I'm super bummed because I love softball and I just want to come out here and watch those kids play. Very, very excited and very thankful that you're going to have that out there so I can at least catch some of it. And I'm sure all their family members are excited about stuff like that. And I think it helps grow the sport. It helps other people in the community who have kids who may be looking for something to do go, oh, I saw that, I saw that on Ysn. I saw it here and there. And I think that's something I might want to do.
So
I think that's always a huge help.
We have a camera guy coming out. I just found out before the show. There's going to be someone. So I'm going to push for an article, and I don't know who I have to influence to do that. I don't really, I mean, I can say this, I don't have to answer to anybody, but I'm going to make sure that it's okay with the coaches and that stuff. But
Okay.
like, if we
Yep.
can get an article in YSN, I think that helps out the game as well. So
Sure.
kind
Absolutely.
of
Yep.
excited about that. Brandy, I cannot thank you enough. People don't give you enough love and credit for all the things that you and your family and the sacrifices that you guys have, and the heart that you have for the love of the game and to grow the game. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
No,
And
thank
if
you.
there's anything that we can do to help, please do not hesitate to ask. I'll give you the right email this time, so that way you can get right to me. Okay,
Will do. Yeah. Thank
Brandy,
you.
thank you so much. Looking forward to hearing from you very soon.
Yep. All right. Bye.
All right, there she goes. Brandy Angus, the president of the South Range Baseball Association. With the last few minutes, because we've got a few minutes left as we started a little bit late, but I do got to get out there because I'm going to get set up. I want to talk about how awesome this is going to be tonight. Like, how absolutely, like, again, I could go on for until game time about how awesome this is going to be. To imagine, put yourself in the state of an 8-year-old, and you're going to be streamed out and broadcasted to the world. You must feel like this is ESPN coming in, and to hear your name, because it's really, it is really funny to hear them hear their names, right? So when I was a kid, it was when there was a public address announcer, like the first time Red Baker at Scene Park said my name, and I'm going to give you my best Red Baker impression here as he said my name. I'm 14 years old. I think I'm in the major leagues because I'm playing for a team that probably didn't win 2 games all season. And I got my garbage time at bats because I was a 14-year-old on an 18-year-old team. It went like this, and I'll never forget it. I was walking up. It was a night game on Scene 1. Now batting for Altel, number 47, D.J. Oakley. I made it, folks. I made it. Right there, that moment, I struck out. We were playing the Astro Falcons. I don't even think I made it 4 pitches. Blew it by me. Ched. Straight Ched. I walked back in the dugout, and I remember looking at some of my teammates, and I went, he announced my name. I guess I'm officially on this team. With what that feeling was, I was numb for that at bat. I can tell you they were all fastballs. And that pitcher is probably, probably going D1 at the time. And you've got, the 5'4" catcher that has yet never had an at bat in Big B. I'm just happy to hear my name at that point. Like, I've never heard that before. We don't have somebody in East Palestine Park, with a megaphone. DJ, like, you don't have that. So to be on that stage was one of the best experiences of my life. And why I'm telling you that is because I cannot wait to pay that forward to every youngster tonight that gets the opportunity. You're going to see me way over the top. Way over the top. And I'm not sorry about it. Because somewhere, at some point in that game, there's going to be a parent or a grandparent or somebody that loves that little child very much, that they felt special. And that's what it's about. Rainbows and butterflies, and they're kids. They love that. You heard Brandy talk about it. You got to grow the game. At 8 years old, 6 years to get to varsity softball or a chance at varsity softball. That is a lifetime away. What are we doing right now to keep them excited, to keep them engaged, to keep them coming back for more, to keep them those tough workouts, those days, those strikeouts, those days that the ball just eats you up at third base or first base? What are we doing now to keep these kids as part of the game? It's easy to sit there when the game is happening and say, oh man, you really stunk. You had 3 errors. How hard is it to encourage somebody, pat on the back and say, hey, I'm proud of you. I'm excited for you. It's my job, my personal job, to make sure that every single player on those rosters tonight feels leaving like they are going to the major leagues. They are going to accomplish something big, and they can't wait for the next game. And even if that's next year, they can't wait for next year. I want every kid in that dugout to be asking tonight, hey, you think YSN's going to come to our game? Hey, you think YSN's going to be there? As cool as that is for your kid, trust me, it's 50 times cooler for me. And for the people that support YSN, the people that bust their tails to do what we do. I'm telling you, if this was all about money, we would have failed a long time ago. And don't feel like we're doing okay. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not bragging. Don't feel bad for us. We're doing okay. But if it was about money, we never would have made it this far. This is about passion. This is about excitement. This is about giving back. This is about sports. And I know we had a long kumbaya moment yesterday, and there's so many people that reached out yesterday and told me how much they appreciated that show. Folks, sports are supposed to be fun. Right? That's a reason why they're by the funny pages in the paper. Sports are supposed to be fun. In the world that we live in today, that's pulling you 50 different ways, and everything's a business opportunity, and everything is, you need to make money, you need to make, everything's about attention span, right? It's nice sometimes to be able to slow things down and just watch people that you care about, people that you love, and people that you appreciate play a sport they love without having to criticize them negatively. Every 8, 10, 14U parent thinks their kid is going to go to the major leagues. I get it. I understand it. My kid went 13 for 13 in T-ball, and I'm calling the Pirates, getting them ready. The next Andrew McCutchen is on his way. He's 5. For 6 years, I've promised myself I wouldn't do that. You can't help yourself. But man, I can't wait. I can't wait. And I'm excited, not just for the kids, but for the parents. And I think some of them might even get emotional tonight, thinking about the great things that their son or their daughter along the way tonight, it's the daughters, that they've done, that somebody else is speaking highly about them. There's an appreciation for that. I'm sure it's appreciated by parents, what we're doing, but we appreciate what your daughter is doing, the hard work that they've put in. And I'm sure you have as well, in the backyard, throwing the ball to them, making sure you play catch, all that stuff to get better for moments like this, that the world can see that one special moment, that all those backyard games of catch, all those swings and misses, all those hours you sacrificed for a show or binge watching Ted Lasso, for a moment like this, that your daughter and eventually your son has their name spoken in high regard for something that they can accomplish and that they've worked really hard for. That's cool. That's cool. Let's get to the Spark. Brought to you by Joe Dickey Electric. Joe Dickey Electric, anything industrial, commercial, residential, anything electrical. Make sure you're heading over to Joe Dickey Electric. You visit them on the web, even at DickeyElectric.com. Here we go. All right, let's put a bow on this bad boy. The spark today, even though I've been on the soapbox pretty much for the last 42 minutes and change, the spark today is how cool it is to have somebody like Brandy Angus on, someone who's been doing this for 11, 12 years in some capacity and still is invigorated, so still is as engaged, I feel, as she probably was the day she started, because she started because probably her own kids needed somebody to step up in a big way. Folks, you see all the signs about volunteering to umpire, volunteering to coach. There's some rules and regulations nowadays that are put in place. So if you complain to an umpire, you automatically, your penalty, right? Instead of being kicked out of a game, you have to umpire a game for that association. I think that's fair. I think it's more than fair. Listen, I said it 3 minutes ago. Everybody feels at some point like their kid's going to make it. Their kid's special. Their kid is going to be better than any other kid out there. And they're going to grow up and they're going to be major leaguers and NBA champions and NFL superstars. The odds aren't in your favor. And it's, to me, I think looking at it, things from a different lens now, I think what's cool for me is that I'm never going to take that dream away if that's what my son or my daughter wants to do. It's not our dream. It's theirs. It's not our right to take that away from them. But I'm going to take the back seat. I'm going to take the back seat on not the expectations. I don't expect you to go and be a major leaguer, but I expect you to be great and want to do well at everything you do. And I think if we take that mentality to sports, not just to our kids, but to others, and we just hope and wish them well. You've never played second base before? Just do the best you can. We're in a jam. We don't have a second baseman. Little Johnny's on vacation. Go. Do it. Just, man, fingers crossed. Come on. Understand that, and we've had this talk before too, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Understand that these kids can learn as much from a loss as they ever will from a win. And you can do the same thing. It's okay to be disappointed. When you've sacrificed hours, we just talked about, the batting practice, the ground balls, all that stuff that you've done with your team, it's okay to be disappointed if your team doesn't win the game, but it's more important to be a leader and let them understand that there are valuable lessons that they can learn in losing, because baseball, if you succeed 3 times out of 10, you're a Hall of Famer. And I know you've heard that one before, but it's true. It's a game of failure. You have to learn how to fail in order to learn what it's like to succeed and truly succeed. The pressure isn't on the 8-year-olds, the 10-year-olds, the 14-year-olds. The pressure is on us to make sure they understand that this is their time. This is their moment. Some of these moments we may never get back. And it's our time to make sure that we just capture them and enjoy them. And it's easy to get carried away. Trust me, I'm there. I've done it. Again, I'm waiting for a call from Ben Cherington as we speak. The Z-Man's going to be a bucko if he wants. That's going to do it for our show. God bless you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we will see you tomorrow. Scott Minchert joins us once again. And we will, there's Denise Curlick. Thank you, Denise. I appreciate you. Awesome. Scott Minchert will join the show tomorrow. It's a Friday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. There will be no show on Monday. We'll be out at the AJGA outing with Brian Tonar, our buddy. And next week, the Tonar Takes will come back into effect. So get your golf clubs out, dust them off, and get ready to get out there and swing it, because the best in the area, Brian Tonar, will tell you what you're doing wrong and how you can correct it right here, exclusively on YSN. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow in about 23 hours. Go South Range. Enjoy tonight. Enjoy everything about it, and take your moment. We'll see you.